Hi, I'm Jan, creator of Foppies France on YouTube.
And I'm Sharon, guardian of Two Cats and Two Chickens.
Welcome to our podcast. What did I come in here for?
And we're here to share with you our lives, loves, musings and mutterings.
We are menopausal friends living in rural France. We'd like to share with you our lives here, and we'll be exposing ourselves by talking about what we get up to on a daily basis and just being us. Welcome to this week's podcast.
Hello,
I'm Jan.
I'm Sharon.
You know, first of all, Sharon, what sort of week have you had?
It's been quite busy actually. Are we going to talk about what we did on the Saturday?
Yeah, could do. I'll let you do that.
Because we went for a lovely meal, didn't we?
Oh, yes.
In a creperie.
I'd forgotten about the meal. Yes.
So filling. So we had like a galette crepe thing.
Yeah, what was yours?
I had smoked salmon with a lovely creamy dressing. What did you?
Mine was it was supposed to be curry, but it was chicken curry. I think there were potatoes in there as well, but being in France, it wasn't much of a curry. You knew the flavour was curry, but there was no spice. There was no spice in it. I don't know what Duncan had now. I think his was more meaty, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think he had like a minced beef in his.
Yeah.
They're all called nice names as well, aren't they? Like
Claude. They were names, male names generally. But no, I don't know. Was there no, they're male and female names, but French.
French names.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
and then pudding.
Oh, and pudding, dessert.
Well, ours was called Willy Wonka, wasn't it?
Yeah, Willy Wonka. What a funny name though for it. I suppose because it all involved chocolate, didn't it? And you had a choice of Willy Wonka, Bounty, Mars, and what's the other one? Kinder
Egg. Yeah.
I went for the Bounty.
I went for the Mars.
And it was yummy.
Like chopped up Mars bar.
Amongst 3 dollops of whipped cream, wasn't it?
Yeah, and a caramelly ice cream in the middle.
Yours was. Mine was coconut ice cream in the middle.
It was amazing.
And there was sprinkling dust and coconut on it.
Which is why I
and then these chunks of chocolate around it. And well, all I can say is it was very filling. But we saw that as a challenge.
Well, and the thing is, I was very pleased that we then sat down for 3 hours.
Yes.
In the cinema, because I don't think I could have walked anywhere.
Oh, I did feel like I was waddling. As we approached the cinema, I thought, I've just noticed I'm waddling. I was so full up. But then, yes, obviously, we did go to the cinema.
We did. So we went straight to the cinema after that, and we saw the new Hunger Games film, which is called The Serpent.
Oh, and was it The Singing Bird or something like that?
Yes.
It's the prequel, isn't it, to the others?
It is a prequel to the other 4 Hunger Game films, which talks about President Snow's early life.
Yes. It took a while for me to realise that it was how he come to be, as it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Professor Snow. And because we didn't really talk about it too much after, did we? Because I was still so annoyed from those kids. I had these 2 kids on the same, they're obviously on our row at the cinema, and they just basically didn't watch the film. They were looking at their phone, they were running around outside, coming in, running up near the screen.
Playing with the booster seats.
Oh, driving me balmy. So I had to really try and block them out because it did take the edge off it for me. But I did manage to enjoy it. It was still...
it was good.
It was quite a good film. I don't know how long it was in the end because we hadn't looked it up before we went.
Yeah, I think it was just under 3 hours.
Was it really? Well, it must have been good then because I didn't feel it felt that long. But no, it was good. It was good. So I'm glad we went because we don't go often enough, really. No. But that's because we're in France, isn't it?
Well, I feel as if we should go to. It's like all these things. If we don't use them, we'll end up losing them, won't we? So. They do what they call version originale in our cinema, which is it's shown without the French dubbing on top of it usually. So we had the English version with French subtitles. So we should make more of those really, because they'll stop playing them if not enough people go to them.
No, but sometimes there are put a lot of silly times.
Yes.
That's the problem, which is not so much a problem for me or for you, but it's for Duncan.
Yeah,
And
it's
it's not
working.
fair for me to go without Duncan, especially if it's a film he wants to see. But one thing I'm talking about the subtitles, I said to you, didn't I? I find myself reading the French subtitles, which is
Yes.
bizarre because
Yeah.
we've purposely gone to see
In
a
English.
film in English. It's been another way of trying to learn it, I suppose,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
it
yeah.
actually goes in.
Yeah.
But I'm always curious to see whether those subtitles match the
They don't.
actual.
They don't.
No,
do
they
they?
often don't. No.
I mean, I quite often use English subtitles at home on English programmes because my hearing's not as good as it used to be. So I quite like having the subtitles as kind of a backup, and they never match.
Oh, really?
You know, they take
Well, I suppose
shortcuts and
sometimes they've
things.
got to be. Yeah, they've got to be shorter because obviously you'd never get it read before we went on to the next thing,
Exactly.
really. Right. So what else did you do?
Well, last Sunday I went to a town called Ran, which is about 45 minutes away. There's a big English plant nursery there.
Oh, if some of you may have seen a video, I did a video quite recently, didn't I? That was when you were on holiday, because Duncan and I went,
To Ran,
and I filmed
yeah.
Ran Garden Centre.
Yes, so about 4 times a year, if not a couple more, they do a kind of fete type fair thing.
Yeah, they seem to come up quite a lot,
Yeah.
don't they? Because they have a lot of craft people there,
Yeah,
don't
so
they?
it's mainly craft fair, and this was obviously the Christmas one, so it was lovely. I mean, they really push the boat out with their decorations and things. So they're like the big polytunnels that other times of the year they'll have plants growing in, and everyone's in those. I don't know why I just put my hand in the air.
No, I'm wondering, there's nothing up there.
I'm just trying to. This is a polytunnel.
Okay.
Yeah, so lots of crafts, lots of Christmas stuff. Didn't buy that much, but we know quite a few people who do exhibit there. So
Yeah.
so
But that's the reason why Duncan and I don't go. We really like it, but we are very bad at just walking away and not buying something, and then you end up with something that you may or may not use, generally not, or it gets put in a bag somewhere that ends up 3-4 years down the line, maybe a gift for someone because you just don't know what else to do with it. But we were very good last time. We did, like Duncan bought the frog there that he put on your water feature that he made you.
Yes, it's lovely.
And what else did we buy? Oh, and I bought a trug, which I did use because obviously we got it near the end of the summer. But I did use it, but it's not very good if I'm bringing in beans or strawberries or that because the holes aren't that small.
Oh right.
So I keep wondering if I should line it to stop things
Yeah, that'd be
falling
good.
out, but then
Yeah.
that'll just get wet and mouldy probably. So I don't know.
To be detachable lining.
This is true. Actually, I could just put it on with elastic, couldn't I?
Yes. Yeah.
Good thinking, Batman.
Full of ideas for other people's makes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I enjoyed it. There was a nice little folky band.
I was just going to say, was there choralers or anything?
No, just a folky band. They might have been later, but their Christmas decorations were lovely. Yeah, saw the usual people. That was good.
I don't know what we did on Sunday, but we're talking about your week in a minute. It's just making me think.
I went to writing group on Monday, which is a group of people who are writers who like writing, to just sort of share ideas, and most people read out something each
That
time
they've
they
written.
go. Yeah, and set exercises for us to do to sort of improve our writing skills.
Because the group's held with a friend of ours, isn't she, who is or was, I don't know if she's still doing teaching.
No, she's not teaching anymore.
Oh, she's not? Oh, right.
She does a lot of marking.
Oh, right, so she's gone on
Yeah.
to something else.
And also she's writing a novel, so
Wow.
yeah.
Do you know what the genre is of her book?
I know it's kind of set where we live in a French village. I think it's going to be like a murder mystery.
I would never see Bernadette doing a murder mystery.
Yeah.
See, it's the least likely people, isn't
Yeah,
it?
so it's
Yeah.
good. I mean, I like it when she reads bits of it out. There's another friend of ours who's an excellent poet.
Mm.
And actually too, Jeff's very good. I was thinking of Sam, but Jeff's a very good poet. as well.
But Sam is amazingly good, and considering she's dyslexic, it's fantastic. And she always denies that she's good.
Every time she goes, I've written something, it's shite, but...
yeah.
No, but she's very good. So I do find it a bit intimidating there. So I don't feel as if anything I write is anything as good as theirs. But
well, like I said to you, I did go because I was a friend at the time who liked writing, and she said, "Come along, you might find yourself." But it wasn't with it. I only went a couple of weeks, and I did exactly that. I felt very intimidated because it's not something I do, not something I would give the time to do. So I've got enough to do as it is. So.
Yeah. But no, it was good.
But I still haven't read anything of yours. You keep saying you're going to give it to me.
No, I will.
But you just keep putting it off because you're shy about it, aren't you?
Well, going to writing group, I think, was the first time I'd ever really shared any of my writing. And I've probably still thrown away more than I've ever kept. So.
What inspires you to write it in the first place?
I don't know, just get an idea sometimes.
So it's not just to get your moods on paper or anything like that?
Sometimes it's that. I used to write more poetry than anything else. I have started writing probably will be a short story. But
it's got to be. It's almost got to be rhyming for me to understand poetry.
Mine don't rhyme.
Because it's got to really grab me, and I will say, Sam's do. They do. Just something about her writing that
She's got a lovely style about her.
Yeah.
She really has.
And she uses some of the most bizarre words but they do exist. But then she's quite capable of making up her own words as well. No, she's very good.
Yeah,
she deserves to be basically printed in lots of ways. Because we used to say to her, when she was making the felt toys, and she'd name them and she'd have a little tag on them about where they were from and where they were going.
Yeah.
And I said, you should write a little book to go with them. It should be amazing.
She does a blog now, doesn't she?
Yes.
Her farm.
Yeah.
She's on Facebook.
Yeah. Anyway, that's maybe another thing if she allowed us to talk about it. So that was your writing group.
Sunday, Monday.
You didn't make Chair Fit this week.
No, I didn't. We walked on Tuesday, didn't we?
Oh, we did walk Tuesday. Where did we go? Was that the same?
We meant to walk.
Or was it here?
No, we did the loop here, didn't we?
Because it was that Tuesday. Oh. Yeah, so we did the loop. Some of you may have heard us say we do the loop, and that takes us about an hour, doesn't it? About 8,000 steps or something.
Yeah.
So it's quite good. But I did feel it yesterday, I must admit.
I've done some online Christmas shopping. Kids. I started to lose track of not only what I'd bought but where I'd sent it.
Oh, did you?
Yes, because I had to write it down then that I'd sent something to Fee for Isla, something to Callum for Fee. And I thought, I can't remember, I've got to pick all these things up as I travel. So I'm going to Callum first so I can pick up Fee's and then travel to Fee where Isla's will be. And then I can take them all with me. Yes, it's good. It started to get very...
You do like making work for yourself.
I know. I've written it all down.
Mind you, I did. I mean, I'm like terrible anyway. At times, at least on 2 occasions, my kids have messaged me and said, "But you sent me that card last year, Mum," and I don't remember. And then this time, I've sent the parcels, and this isn't just me; it's Duncan as well. And we sent Christmas parcels over to his family. And she's opened one, there's 2 to me, but there's not one there for Lois.
That's
it. So we wrote 2 tags for his mum and none for Lois, so that's disappointing in a way because now we've had to tell them what they've got. So when you open it and you see that, it's so-and-so's. Stupid. Anyway, so I'm trying to think now. So your week is finished today, really, isn't it?
Yes. I'm going to a carol thing on Sunday.
You have to tell us about that next week.
Yeah, which will be good.
This week, what did I do? I just, obviously just did the walk with you. I've been doing lots of editing. I've made a video for my Foppy Upcycle of me taking one of my blouse in from holiday. So that goes
just
up.
Remembered something else
that goes up tomorrow.
Together.
What else did we do?
We recorded you answering the
French
questions.
We've recorded. Yes, I got Sharon to interview me for the Foppy's France channel because I've been interviewing other people and thought I could things from my point of view, which I do obviously do on the channel anyway, but I thought it'd be quite fun, didn't I, for Sharon to interview me, which I did, and I'm about halfway through editing it, and it always makes me laugh. I get a lot of pleasure out of doing the editing because it's just reliving what I've done, isn't it? So yeah, we've done that together. Then Thursday, you weren't feeling too well, so I went to chair fit on my own. It's always a bit weird driving on your own, but there's quite a big group of us this week, which is nice. Then today, Friday. So, but I'm trying to think what we did last weekend. Obviously, we went to the cinema with you. Sunday, I think we ended up staying in because
it was cold. Because you had to go round to my house.
That's it. Duncan's been selling quite a lot of stuff on Le Bon Coin, which is a selling site in France, a bit similar to Gumtree. That's it. So he's been selling stuff and ran out of tape when he was wrapping things up, so I had to go to Sharon's and pinch a roll of tape. So yeah, other than that, I think we just stayed in.
As I said to you, did you go round or don't go round? Because I knew there was a bra hanging on one of the chairs.
Yeah, you'd love to left a bra hanging out, drying or whatever it was doing, and just prayed that you were just praying that Duncan hadn't gone round. But he wouldn't have batted an eyelid.
No, just think, oh, I know there's a bra.
Yeah. And what about this week? You had any decent dreams?
Last night I dreamt about this ferry that I've been on a lot, but only in my dreams. There are places in my dreams which I go to regularly which don't exist outside of my dreams.
I'll say sometimes I'm convinced you do go elsewhere, and that's why you're so tired in the day.
I've been in another dimension.
Yeah.
So I go on this ferry, and it's quite small, and you can drive onto it, but it's very much, it's like a small version of the Woolwich ferry, which won't mean anything to anybody else.
No, I know the sort of thing.
But it's like a drive-on ferry, but a lot of people do passenger on it, and it just goes across a river.
Very detailed.
Yeah, no, I've been there loads of times. And you have to go down a sandy slope, and quite often I miss it, so it's obviously timed. And I think, oh no, I missed the ferry. But the place doesn't...
Where is it actually going to?
That varies. Where it's going to. It goes to the Isle of Wight a lot.
That's a long way for a little ferry like that, isn't
and yet the Isle of Wight is not as far as it is in real life, and it doesn't look like the Isle of Wight when we get there. But in my mind, it's the Isle of Wight. But I've got a whole town, because there's the ferry. I can visualise it there. You can walk along the promenade, and there's shops. There's big buildings up the back, and these are places.
This is quite scary, you know, but exciting at the same time.
They're places I go to
Can you
regularly.
imagine if you did go somewhere in your sleep? Because I'm sometimes convinced.
Oh, maybe I do. But I was on the ferry last night, just with a couple of friends. I think we're out for the day. Yeah, it's slightly weird, isn't it?
My dreams was this last night. It was because I can very rarely remember my dreams, and I think I said this in another podcast that I should write it down. But last night's was because I'd been up here editing, went downstairs, and Duncan was watching The Walking Dead. So he carried on watching that while I was cooking dinner, and we talked about bits of it. And I just do not get it. I mean, we'll probably talk about it in our subject in a minute, but I just don't get the subject. But it obviously stuck in my mind, because in my dream last night was basically loads of people that or either my family or friends, were zombies.
Was I there?
But it wasn't scary. It was weird. It was... And it's just coming back to me. One part of it was there were zombies, but they almost kept reliving a day. Because I've got a recollection of it. I keep thinking, we're going to run out of hours in a minute, and then it will start again. And it was like that sort of...
Okay.
Yeah.
But you weren't scared that someone was going to bite you and you become a zombie?
I don't remember being scared, no.
Was I a zombie?
I don't think you were there, actually. You were probably off in your little world anyway.
I was on the ferry.
You were on the ferry somewhere. Yeah.
So I was escaping the zombies.
Yeah, you could have been. But yeah, it's the only one I can actually recollect this week.
Yeah, I mean, what you've experienced that week does leak does leak into your dreams quite regularly, doesn't it? I mean, I
Yeah.
as well. And because I listen to things going to sleep, they'll pop in my dreams as well.
Yeah. We need to involve you listeners as well. Sometimes, like things like this, let us know any bizarre dreams you've had, and I'll read them out on here. I'm sure other people could be amused, scared,
We should
whatever.
get one of those dream books, you know, when they say, "Oh, that means this is happening."
Yeah, we could analyse people's dreams.
I have
Yeah.
I have babies a lot in dreams.
Oh, but that's probably because you're of a desire for a grandchild.
It could be that, but I think often babies means a new chapter, a new life.
New start. Yeah.
Not necessarily a baby. They do come out very small, smaller than in real life.
Yeah.
Quite often they're like only about 3 or
About
4
8 inches, showing me with her fingers here. 8 inches long, basically. This baby is.
No,
Yeah.
I think it's less than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, very small babies.
So yes, if you have any weird dreams,
We'd
put
love
them
to
in.
know.
Put them in the comments. And while we're on here, just to thank the comments we've had from a couple of viewers about what we should have taken on our stranded island.
Very practical.
Very practical, kept us amused, and if we're ever stranded, we need to plan it so that you can come with us.
We should
Anyway,
have taken a tarp. That's
we
the first thing I thought of.
that was Renee. She said a tarp, or was it? No, not. Well, I think they both hinted at it. So yeah, the two of the people said a tarp. Anyway, so this week we thought we'd talk about films.
Yep.
Our favourite films, or maybe films that we even hate. Maybe, I don't know. But obviously, logically, if you think, talk about ones that you like. And we've got genres of science fiction, romance, comedy, theory, historical,
That's Jan's category.
biographical, thrillers and horror. So I don't, a lot of these are obviously going to cross over, but it's more of a prompt for us to think of films. Because as you're probably starting to gather, my memory's not very good with things like this. But saying that, neither is Sharon's, because she lists them all on her phone.
I have a list on my phone of all the films I've seen from 2013.
You've done that for 10 years.
10 years. Yeah. And I started to do it because I couldn't remember things I'd seen.
Yeah.
So I started one with books I'd read as well, but I managed to delete that accidentally, so that one doesn't go as far back.
Oh.
But as I've seen books that I remember have read, I've tried to write them down. But the film one, totally chronological. And I actually write down where I've seen it as well. So it says cinema, Netflix,
Oh, when
DVD.
you saw it at home or whatever, yeah.
Yeah. I'd love a
It's
list.
not as important, but yeah, the question could come up, couldn't it? Where did you see that? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
But I should. But the thing is, I need a list of the things I need to remember to put on my list. That is my problem.
I think we should do a whole section on what I have in my lists.
You should. That's a good idea, actually. What list do you have on your phone? Watch out for that podcast.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's start with science fiction. Any science fiction films or movies that stand out for you?
Well, that's one of my favourite genres.
It's becoming one of mine as well, and I think a lot of
Yes.
it because Duncan loves it, and I'm happy if I can sit and watch something with Duncan that he likes as well, because it's very hard for us to come together on a film, if you like.
Yeah. Come together during a film.
Sorry. Anyway, carry on.
I think it's quite a wide. We were talking about what is science fiction, and I think our version is very wide, isn't it? So we're talking about maybe I can't say that.
Apocalyptic.
Apocalyptic.
I'm surprised I said it then. I've just sort of say it now I can.
Apoplectic.
Apoplectic.
Which is probably what I am right now. Just apoplectic.
To be perfectly honest, I'm not even sure what that means.
Apoplectic. It's like a. Oh, I'll Google it. Apoplectic. Apoplexy. Apoplexy is unconsciousness or
Oh my god, you can't even say it.
incapacity
Right.
resulting from a cerebral hemorrhage or stroke.
What?
Or extreme anger, which is what I use. Like someone's apoplectic, they're like raging.
Oh right.
Yeah. Rather than
you
the
looked just then.
or when I went
Yeah, you reminded me of one of the characters on Inside Out.
I'm the angry ones.
It's just like I think it's one of the. It's like might be on the cover, is it, of the movie? I don't know, but it's just a little face. It's just yes. Anyway, so what film was you talking about?
Our wide definition of science fiction covers space science fiction, but also post-apoplectic. Zombie films, all that kind of, or are they just horror? Anything futuristic or fantastical, I would say science fiction.
Yeah, but as I said at the start, a lot of them can cross over. I mean, you would put it under horror as well as science fiction. What's the other word? We just found another one just now, didn't we? But yeah.
Yes. So I love science fiction films.
And I like most of them, just some of them.
Yeah, I think I've done them all on Netflix now. I've done the whole category, and they say, because you watch this, you might like this, and it's absolute shite.
Yeah, it's funny what they think is anything like you've just watched.
Yes, yes. So some of my favourites. I'm a big Marvel fan.
Yes, you are.
Not DC. Jan doesn't
no
get
difference.
this. Jan.
I didn't know what DC was.
Right, both of them come from comics.
Yeah.
So
DC Comics, I've heard.
DC Comics, which is Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman. I'll make an exception for Aquaman.
So is that more of a superhero side?
I don't know, they're just different comics. So people tend to like one or the other. So I'm a big Marvel comic fan.
Right,
so
okay.
the Marvels are Guardians of the Galaxy, all the Avengers. So Iron Man, Captain Marvel, Captain America, Thor, lovely Thor.
Isn't there one something to do with electrical or something?
No, you've just made that up.
Yeah, probably.
Anyway.
I mean, I don't mind most of those. I must admit, some get a bit corny, a bit silly, but
Black Panther, Ant-Man. Ant-Man's one of my favourites. I like Paul Rudd. Yeah, and I like the crossover as well. So like Spider-Man will appear in Ant-Man's film, or that sort of thing. Doctor Strange. They're all coming back to me now.
Yeah, we saw Doctor Strange together, didn't we?
We may have done. Jan's doorbell. Jan sorted out the doorbell.
Right, I had to get up for the doorbell, so
was it the
back
post?
again. It was posted.
Okay.
As usual, another parcel for Duncan. So where was we?
We talk about the Marvels.
Yeah.
Which are lots of my favourites. Some of my other favourite science fiction, The Martian.
Martian. I would say a favourite of mine, but I definitely remember I liked it. It was very good. Quite often like the movies where it's one person in it, sort of thing. I think I'm always very, because it's obviously very impressive, isn't it?
It is.
They've done the whole film just them. It's like Castaway and all that, isn't it? I think they're just really clever. I think it just draws me in more for some reason.
And he grew potatoes in his own poo.
Yes, now I think we touched on that, didn't we? Talking about being on the island.
Yes,
whether we could stranded, whether we could actually do that, grow potatoes in our poo.
I mean, it wasn't just his poo, the other astronauts as well.
Oh right, I don't remember that.
Oh, right. Because they'd left him behind, hadn't they?
Yeah.
Obviously, all their poo.
Oh, because they were there, but yeah, of course. Yeah. So the next one. Oh, you were talking about Marvels and everything.
Yes, we did The Martian. Downsizing.
Yes.
Which is another Matt Damon one.
Oh, and we missed that just now.
Which is hilarious. I think it's because of overpopulation. Are they Swedish, Norwegian scientists? There's a little bit of hurdy-gurdy at the beginning.
Yeah.
They go, hurdy-gurdy. Like the Swiss chef and the Muppets.
It was very different. I don't know what I expected before.
Yes.
Because I try not to go by other people's reviews, and I try not to read too much about it because I do like to be surprised.
Yes. Yeah.
It's trying to not. If you haven't seen it, it's worth a look, and it's about the world is overpopulated, isn't it?
Yes. So these Scandinavian scientists come up with the ability to shrink people down to about 2 or 3 inches tall.
Yeah, we were saying it must be about 2 inches, mustn't it?
Yeah. And my favourite bit of the film is when they actually do the shrinking down.
Is it?
Yes, because they wheel him in, they shave him from head to toe, then you have to have all your fillings taken out,
That's right.
Yeah. Because when he meets the Vietnamese girl, and she introduces him to someone else, she said, her husband, his head explodes, and they forgot to take out one of his fillings.
Yeah, and try not to go into too much in case you haven't seen it, but so say one of the favourite bits is the wedding rings. They always have to take their wedding rings off because obviously anything metallic won't shrink.
Yes.
If they kept it, basically the wedding rings would be as big as they are going to be, and at some point I think the lady in it starts to miss her wedding ring, doesn't she? And they have it delivered.
They do have them delivered.
They have it delivered on the back of a truck basically and wheeled up their drive.
Like
so
a
it's quite
cartwheel.
funny.
That's a good bit.
But yeah, they have to sort of make that decision if they want to be shrunk or not, don't they?
Yes, because you can't be re-inflated.
No, once you're there, you're there.
Yeah, yeah.
But once you're in this world, it's the same as
any other world. Yes, yeah.
And I do say they've obviously created, would you say worlds or towns or
they're
what?
they're towns, aren't they? Yeah, under a kind of sphere.
It's like making a big loads of Barbie houses type thing, but a lot smaller.
And of course, no, I'm going to spoil it if I say anything else.
Yeah, don't spoil it for people.
Yeah.
But look out for it. Downsizing if you haven't
Very
seen
good.
it. It's very good. And that's with Matt Damon.
Yeah, very good.
Very different role for him.
Ex Machina is another favourite of mine.
Yeah, that's just AI type film. Isn't it?
She's part human, part robot, and I think the main actor, Donald Gleeson.
Oh, is that his name?
It is. So I just looked him up. Who was in Harry Potter?
Yeah, what was he in Harry Potter?
He was one of Ron Weasley's older brothers. So it's quite a minor role.
Donald?
No, it's Domhnall. It's like an Irish spelling.
You've probably noticed by now that we have to keep stopping to look things up in Google.
Because his father's very famous, Brendan Gleeson.
Oh, Dom Hall.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
What a funny name. I'd noticed that before.
It's Irish.
He's a very nice Irish actor, though.
Yeah. You'll know his dad if you saw a picture of his dad. Look his dad up.
He's probably here somewhere.
Brendan Gleeson.
I know the name. Yes, he's there.
With the
yes.
beardy man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice man.
He's
very often in cop things as well, isn't he?
Is
he? I think I've seen him in
Is
cop series.
A genre?
Oh, could be, couldn't it?
Could be.
Yeah, not really thought about that one, had we? There's too many genres, that's the trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, we could have several podcasts about films if you really...
Well, yeah, see how much people enjoy
Well, it might
this.
from your memory and from your list, but me, I've got to try and remember them all. So, yeah, well, there's another one you said was Martian, wasn't it? Or did we mention?
Yeah,
oh, done Martian.
Arrival.
No, Arrival.
Arrival.
Yeah.
I really liked Arrival.
Mm.
I love the music from Arrival, actually. I've bought the music from Arrival.
Oh, have you? I don't know if I know it.
It's very woo, which is a bit like the noise that the...
You sound like a cow then.
It's the, the noise that the aliens make. And the
Yes,
got
it's
that
quite
kind
loud, isn't it? It's a bit like... What's his one that wasn't the original ones that came out? Third Kind thing, in Close Encounters.
Oh, Close Encounters.
Because they did a really loud on that, didn't they? Yeah.
Yes, but the nice thing is that there's aliens arrive, but there's no big fighty war.
No.
It is about understanding them
Mm.
and learning their language and realising they've actually come to bring us something rather lovely.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the woman with the... She's got red hair, isn't she?
She has.
I can't remember her name, but...
Jeremy Renner's Reiner is the other actor.
I'm
Amy
confused.
Adams.
That's it.
There you go.
Yeah. Amy Adams is in that.
And Jeremy Renner, not Reiner, Renner,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
who of course is Hawkeye in quite a few of the Marvel films.
Oh, right. See, every time you say Hawkeye, I think of the old... What's it?
MASH.
MASH. Yeah. Right, this...
Yes.
Have you got any more under that category?
Blade Runner
Yes.
was the other one. we
Yeah,
talked
Blade
about.
Runner's... Yeah,
we
because
looked up the
this...
dates, didn't we? So
Yeah.
the original one was 1983.
Yeah. See,
Lovely
I think because I was too busy having children around that time, so I don't think I saw the original. But when once me and Duncan met and I remember him talking about it because it was just a film he absolutely loved. So we did watch it together before we saw the new version.
The new version.
Which you said was...
2013.
Yeah. So
10 years ago. No, it's 2017.
I was going to say, I didn't... Yeah, so 6 years ago.
6 years ago, yeah.
No, it's good film.
Very good.
Yeah.
I think that's it about science fiction. I love and I read a lot of science fiction, so we'll get onto that in another podcast maybe. But the ideas that people come up with are the things that engage me, not the big fighty
it's
scenes.
the author's imaginations, and that's fascinating.
Yeah,
isn't it?
the big fighty scenes don't really appeal to me.
I find myself saying that a lot with films, with sort of, when you think about the writers and you think, where were they at this time? What were they thinking? Or it's incredible.
People's imagination.
And it can go wild, can't it? A bit like your dreams.
A bit like my dreams.
Let's think about romance. That's not really headed for you, is it? I like a romance.
You do. You're very romantic.
To me, I to actually sit with a nice cup of tea, maybe some chocolate if I'm being naughty, in front of the fire, curled up with a blanket, and to watch a nice romance. I love it. But the only one that ever comes straight to my mind is Notebook.
Right. Yes.
Now, have you actually seen it?
I haven't seen Notebook.
Oh, see, again, it comes under teary as well. Put it that way.
Yeah.
But I absolutely love it, and I was telling my daughter about it, and she hadn't seen it, so I sent it to her, and she went, "Oh my God, Mum!" It's just so lovely, and I mean that I do think actually went against the rules. I think I saw that twice.
Yes.
Probably didn't cry. That's the only trouble with them sort of things that have that much of a effect on your emotions. If you watch them again and you know it's coming, you don't get the same emotion. You don't cry in the same way as you did.
I find them too corny.
Oh, come on.
I have got a couple of romances on my list, but most of them I find very corny.
I mean, the other thing was what would be one like Ghost. Everybody loves Ghost. But did you find that corny, or was you?
I watched it at the time. I thought it was all right. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I sobbed. I absolutely sobbed. I can't think.
A Star Is Born.
Yes. I think we both went to see that.
I think we did.
Yeah, I remember I liked the original one as well.
Was amazing.
Yeah, and it still chokes me up. The main song, I still love it.
There's actually 3 versions, so there's an earlier one than the Barbra Streisand.
Yeah, was that in the 50s or something?
It may well be. I think it was black and white days.
I mean, I definitely remember seeing the Barbra Streisand version.
Yes, saw that at the cinema. Yeah, I loved it. And Chris Christopherson.
Yes.
Who named that boy? What were they thinking?
I'm trying to think whose husband he is.
No, don't know.
Famous. I want to say.
Oh, there we go.
Goldie Hawn. Isn't he Goldie Hawn's husband?
No. That's someone else with a beard.
Well, that's why I'm confused.
I'll look that up in a minute, because I've just looked up and seen there are 4 versions of A Star Is Born.
You're joking.
There was one in 1937.
Right.
And then there's one in 54, which was Judy Garland and James Mason.
Yes, I'd forgot about that one.
76 was Barbra Streisand, and then 2018 for Lady Gaga.
Gaga.
I have to call her Lady Gaga. I don't know where I've got that from, but I always say that. I'm just looking at that original one, 1937. Yeah, it's the same story.
Wow.
And
they got their money's worth out of that script, didn't they?
Isn't that funny? And yet sometimes we don't like remakes, but that's a particularly good remake.
Yeah, well, sometimes they just ruin it, don't they? Yeah. That's why I say it was the same as don't watch it again. It just can be ruined the first time. But no, that's another favourite. Yeah. But is that what you've got under romance?
I've got I've got another one. About Time.
Yes, that's really that bloke again, isn't it? The Dom. I can't even say his name now.
I think they just say Donald.
Oh right.
Yeah,
Donald Gleeson. No, that was lovely.
I probably really watched it because it had time travel in it.
Yeah.
Because they've got
that's another. I haven't got it on the genre, but I suppose it comes under science fiction, doesn't it? But I love a time travel film series, whatever. I mean, we'll talk about some binge watches on another podcast, I think, because we do love a binge watch. And it's like Time Traveller's Wife. That's
oh yes.
That's another absolute favourite, and read the book of that.
See, I didn't watch the film for a long time. I didn't watch it when it came out because it was one of my favourite books. I thought, I'm going to ruin it.
See, I mean, it's a similar thing, isn't it? Yeah.
So, but I did watch it eventually, and I thought it was well done. Yeah.
But that's the only thing I like. like it if you watch it and it's very accurate to the film, especially if you to the book, especially if you've enjoyed the book.
Yes.
But if you watch it and then they've just messed about with it too much, you think, oh, come on, this didn't happen in the book.
Exactly.
You can't really say, oh, come on, they didn't look like that, because that's how your imagination has pictured it, isn't it? So you can't really say that, even though I do find myself saying, no, I thought they had black hair and she's blonde or something like that. It's just bizarre.
That's like when I took Callum to see, my son to see the first Harry Potter film, because he was very into the books very early. So by the time the first film came out, I think he'd read maybe 3 or 4 of the books. And he could be a serious boy, really. I took all 3 kids, and the other 2 were like, oh, it's amazing. So what did you think, Callum? He said, well, that wasn't what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Because he was so deep into the characters from reading them.
And how he got it in his mind.
Yeah, it was never going to be quite the same on the screen for him. But, yeah, typical.
I think they did a fantastic job, those films.
Oh, I do.
Sometimes if it's that good, you have to almost detach the two, don't you, and think, well, that was the book version.
I didn't read the book.
And that's the film.
I didn't read the Harry Potter books.
Did you not? I read about... Yeah. I think there was 2 normal size books, as I call them, and 1 fat book. And I got as far as the fat book, and I only managed to get halfway through. And that's probably only because I'd stopped working in London, and I used to read it on the train. So yeah, so I mean, I can't think of any others other than that at the minute, but I know there are loads in my mind, and I could sit here for hours. I like films with dancing, a romance and stuff as well.
I enjoyed La La Land. I think I like...
See, now Duncan preferred that over me. It's funny, isn't it?
I like accidental romance. I won't necessarily watch a film that's just pure romance, but if it's a good film and something romantic happens in it, I'll enjoy it. Yeah. The Holiday is probably an exception to that. I like The Holiday.
Yes, that's another good one. But I'd watch something, be willing them to get together, them sort of things. I love it, and I just get so upset if they don't. And they do that on purpose in films, don't they? Because they keep getting someone to get in their way, or someone else takes her out instead of him, and I don't like it when it gets me that wound up.
What about Love Actually?
That's good producing and everything, isn't it?
Love Actually is a classic Christmas romance.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it once, but I can't watch it again unless I watch it on my own. And as I said, I don't really like to watch them again, because Duncan hates Hugh Grant.
Oh.
Absolutely hates him, because he says, and it's quite true really, he says he acts the same in every film. He's always the same character. Yeah.
I would argue.
Yeah.
Because there's foppish Hugh Grant, isn't it, with the floppy hair and the terribly posh.
Yeah.
But he does a couple of evil roles.
I can't take him seriously in an evil role, I must admit, because I can only see him in Love Actually. Do you know what I mean? In my mind.
Yeah.
It's silly, isn't it? But that's where...
Because Bridget Jones, he's the bad boy, isn't he?
I don't remember him being in that. So that's another film I'd forgotten about. But yeah, I just find it really hard in my brain. I suppose in my brain I've typecast them, because it doesn't always fit. But then you've got other actors like Matt Damon and Leonardo DiCaprio. They all play very different roles in each, and they're very good at it.
Yes.
But I do find there's him and there's a couple of others that it's hard to shift from the one genre. But that's my problem, not theirs.
Well, it might be theirs as well. I don't think actors...
Yeah, they're leaving me thinking that. Yeah.
Always like being typecast, but maybe that's the only roles they get offered.
I think the romance, I don't think we've got exhausted at a minute. We do know loads of others but can't think of them. But let's move on to comedy. What's one of your funny movies?
Yeah, it's got lots of funny movies. Again, I quite like them when they're accidentally funny, like Downsizing, which we just described. So.
Yeah, because it's not actually a comedy, is it? But it's just lovely. It makes you smile, makes you laugh. Yeah.
Blues Brothers is one of my favourite films.
Yeah.
Again, very comedic.
Yeah.
But the music in it, the songs in it are fantastic.
Yeah. I
mean, used to be able to say that quote. What's that quote they do? We're so many miles from Chicago. It's dark, we're wearing sunglasses. Something else.
No
Classic.
idea. No idea. You always remember the lines, don't you? I don't always
But
necessarily.
yeah, I love Blues Brothers. Yeah, that's a good comedy. Shaun of the Dead. Which of course is a zombie film.
That's very funny. Same as Hot Fuzz.
And Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, and they're both British films, aren't they? I think.
Yeah, There's a third one, isn't it? Because it's called the Cornetto trilogy. What's the third one then? Yeah.
Oh, it's not the end of the world type.
Was it the end of the world?
Something like that, wasn't it?
Third one? That could have been the third one.
Is that the one where they're in the pub?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not as good. No, but Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, really funny. Yeah, I'm trying to think some other funny films actually. There's too many of them, that's the thing. I mean, like Jim Carrey films, they're silly, but they still make me laugh out loud.
Yeah.
You're not so keen on them?
They're alright. I like him.
You can get very silly, but
He
I can't
does,
help but laugh.
yeah. I mean, I've watched things like The Mask.
He can be quite typecast actually, because I think it's just...
There's a bit of madman.
Yeah, and I think sometimes facially he does the similar facial moves and things like that, expressions.
But another good film where he wasn't particularly funny was The Truman Show. I love The Truman Show.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good one actually, Truman Show.
That
frustrating, but yeah.
Yeah.
Not frustrated, more for me, or no, because I'm getting frustrated for him. Yeah.
There's a film called Lemony Snicket.
Oh yeah. The Unfortunate Events. Yes,
series,
he was the uncle, wasn't he?
A series of unfortunate events.
That's it, yeah.
And he does play quite a comedy role, but my favourite bit in that film, and I bet he added that bit in, was when he does an impersonation of a dinosaur. And it's just amazing.
He's very good at them sort of things, but yeah.
It's very, very funny.
Yeah, because the series is by another bloke, isn't it? The blonde, I want to say blonde, I always think of him as blonde, but he was in How I Met Your Mother. No.
Oh yes, there was a series.
There was a series of. We started watching it, but we couldn't get into it.
No, the film was very good.
It's almost like they tried to stretch the film out too much to make it a series. We didn't enjoy that.
And the kids had the books, a series of unfortunate events.
Yeah.
But it's that impression of a dinosaur that gets me. It's really funny.
Oh,
have you seen Lady in the Van?
Yes.
See, that was good.
That was very good. I just love her anyway. She's just a fantastic actress. Yeah, Maggie Smith. Yeah.
That was based on a true story.
Yes. Yeah.
That he did. Oh, I've forgotten his name. We need to do the menopause episode where we talk about how we forget things.
Yeah.
He's a famous northern writer. Bennett.
Oh, Alan Bennett.
Alan Bennett.
Oh,
famous
right. Yes,
writer.
yes.
And he did at one stage have a lady in a van living on his driveway.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
There's the film. Yeah. And she was just brilliant in that.
Anything Maggie Smith's in, she's just amazing. She'll be, when her day comes, she'll be lost and missed. So,
such a good character actress, isn't she? Absolutely brilliant. Loved that.
She brought the humour to Downton Abbey. She was just fantastic.
Oh, I forget she's in that because I don't watch.
Yeah, you don't
watch historical ones.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched The Big Lebowski?
Yes. Again, yeah, I do remember it being funny, but I can't remember exactly what it's about as usual.
Yeah. And basically, there's two people with the same name, Lebowski.
Oh, is that why he's the Big Lebowski?
Yes, and they get mistaken
I don't
for each
remember
other,
that.
so it's a bit of a farce, really. So it's funny. But that's another one. Because I do tend to watch some things by director as well. So if I know I like a film by a particular director, I'll go back and watch other films by that director. And I think that's partly because two of my kids did film in their degrees, so they've got a kind of different view of films.
Yeah, they do.
They're quite analytical.
Yeah, exactly. They will look at it from a different perspective to us.
Oh, that's the Coen brothers. So
yes.
There's a lot of the Coen brothers films. Now, did we see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood together?
Yes, we did.
And because George Clooney's in a couple of them as a funny person, which I love because he's often given just roles to be handsome in, isn't he?
Oh,
and I love it that he picks other roles, often with the Coen brothers. Because he was in that, and he was in the other Hail Caesar, was it? Was another one.
Yes, and
the
one of my favourites. I don't know if it was by them. Was How Far Out, the brother one.
Brother,
We're Far Out There, wasn't it, or something? Brother.
Yes, that's the Coen
but
brothers as
yes,
well.
I mean, it was fantastic in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Hollywood one, it was weird, but sometimes I just think, what?
Yeah. But I bet he enjoys that, George. Because he thinks, I could just go around being handsome forever.
Yeah, and he could.
That actually be given a comedic role must be great.
Yeah. And yeah, you can see he enjoys it when he's doing it, can't you?
Yeah.
It's some of his expressions in that Brother, what's it film? I can't remember.
Brother,
the name
where
of it.
art thou?
That's it, I think so, yeah.
That's it, isn't
But
it?
you can just tell how many takes that to take to get that, because you'd imagine he was just not being serious.
Just have giggles.
Yeah.
Mm.
Just know it. Oh yeah, so as I can't remember the other film that I had on my mind, it's slipped out totally. We'll move on to the next one. Theory, there's too many and they come under the
Come on,
romantic,
give all your
really.
theories.
I haven't got any, I've only got Notebook, which is what I put down, and I've already said Ghost.
So is it romantic theories?
No, but they just cross over. It's, you know, you've got the romantic theories and you've got the ones where, you know, I mean, it's like, what's the one with Macaulay Culkin in, with the little girl is dying. I can't remember what her name is.
See, I won't have watched that.
No. I mean, very often you'll say, if it's teary, I don't want to watch it.
It's not that it's teary if it involves children.
Mm.
It's children dying or children that are being hurt.
Yeah.
I can't watch them.
Yeah, no, that doesn't put me off, because every now and then I need to watch a teary film, because sometimes you just think, I need someone to make me cry, because I just feel like
I'm happy for adults to make me cry. I can't watch it.
Don't tempt me.
Because there's a couple of really good. Are they both films, or is one of them a film on both of them books that I can't watch because I know what the subject is? Bulletproof Fence. Bulletproof Fence.
Not
something.
sure about that
Rabbit
one.
Proof Fence.
Rabbit Proof Fence. Yeah, I don't know if I've seen that. I'm looking at it. No, I don't remember seeing it. Oh, right. Directed by Philip Noyce.
Yeah, and it's about mixed race Aboriginal children being taken away from their parents.
Talking about that, you've just reminded me of a movie that me and my kids all love. Can't remember the name of it. I think it's the one where it's the naval cop series.
Naval Cop series.
What is his name?
Are you just putting in Naval Cop
Yeah,
series?
exactly. That's all I've got on my head that I can. Naval Crimes, let's put that way. NCIS, you saw them.
Right.
So the main character in that, he's the dad in this film,
Okay.
and his wife dies, and he's left with 5 or 6 kids.
Okay.
And it's all about him trying to keep his kids. And oh my God,
I don't know if
I've sobbed and sobbed at that film, and that is one of the very few films that I've seen a few times, and because it was quite an old film, it'd been out
What's it called
70s
then?
or 80s.
You'll have to go in through his name.
Oh, no, wrong one. Yeah, but where are we? What's his name? After the Promise. It's just come to me.
After the Promise.
And that was in
I've bloody heard of it.
1987. And it is the saddest but lovely film. I mean, I've probably got it. We must have it here somewhere, because I know all the kids love it, because they've watched it with us and said, oh my God, Mum. And they all love it. Well, that's because we're a biggish family as well, and they sort of relate. I don't know, but they, especially the girls, they love it. So that's it's one of my favourites. So it comes under teary.
Comes under teary.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I had to say about that one because that came to mind. Because it's not often I remember, is it?
No, that's good. Well done,
It's
Jo.
about historical. I mean, I straight away would think of loads, to be honest, but I can't think of the titles. But I love historical TV programmes, films.
Yeah. You like a costume drama?
I do really, yeah.
They
And that could be in lots of areas. That could be 50s, 60s, or it could be way back in whatever hundreds they are, with
whatever,
Tudors, anything
yeah.
like that. I love a crinoline dress sort of drama.
Yes. No.
Genre historical. Some of these are very difficult. We've put them under these headings, but it's hard to. Some of them you can't pinpoint like that. I mean, you could put historical as in films like that I liked, which was about the Queen.
Yes.
The one, was it Queen that Billy Connolly was in, and Judi Dench? Was
Queen
it Judi
Victoria,
Dench?
yes.
Yes, that was it. That was a good one.
Yeah. I can't
Enjoyed
remember what that was
that.
called.
It was just the Queen, wasn't it?
No, because there's another one just called The Queen, which is about the royals' reaction to Diana dying. I can't remember what that one was called. So it's Queen Victoria, yeah, and he was her kind of horseman, but there was always a hint of a
that's
different
right.
kind of relationship.
I'm just trying to find it now, just because before I can.
See, again, it's like the we were talking about you liking hospital dramas and me liking factual things. It's the same with historical, because I will watch lots of documentaries, historical documentaries, but I don't watch Downton Abbey and things like that. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, you do like a documentary. I mean, I don't remember Billy Connolly being in Unfortunate Wins.
Yes, he was one of the uncles they got sent to. He was the one that kept all the snakes.
Oh, yes. Mrs. Brown.
Mrs. Brown, because that was his name, was it, Mr. Brown? And there were hints of a relationship.
Yeah, so that was another one I really liked, because two favourite actors in it for starters. I mean, the other ones under historical, what can you think of?
I've got quite a few, but they tend to relate to... There's a big overlap with biography, so quite often they're about individual historical figures.
Right.
I mean, I've got Dunkirk down.
Yes.
Which was about the Second World War.
Enjoyed that. And one we saw together was 1917.
Which was also very good.
During COVID, wasn't it, that one?
It was the First World War.
That was very good.
The King's Speech.
Yes, is that the one where he stutters or something? Yes.
Yes. Which is the Queen's father, wasn't it?
Who's the other man that acted that? He was from Love Actually, or one of those, wasn't he?
Yes, and Bridget Jones. Yeah.
I haven't got his name though for you. I can't even think of the first letter of the name.
And I recently saw Oppenheimer. Set aside a few hours, because it is a longer
And didn't you say
film.
You liked it but Jackie didn't? Something like that?
I think Jackie found it too long.
Jackie's another friend of ours.
And it also, mind you, it was about bombs, so there was a lot of big bangs in it.
Oh.
And every time there was a big bang, Jackie nearly jumped through the roof. She's easily startled. I didn't know about it until I went to see that with her, so that was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think really, for me, the list is endless on historical
Colin
films.
Firth!
That's his name. Colin Firth. There's loads of period sort of stuff that I like. I mean, would you say Belfast? I mean, I love that film. Have you seen it?
I still haven't seen it. I lent it to you and I've got it back and I still haven't seen it.
Someone I know put it up on Facebook the other day and just said that was whatever time I've lost out of my life, how boring. I went, what?
Honestly.
I said, I loved it. He went, no, trying to wind me up. I said, no, I loved that film.
I've got Imitation Game as well.
Oh, that's excellent.
But again, it's more about the one man who invented the decipher during the Second World War, was responsible really for the first computer.
All I can say is I remember watching it.
It was Benedict Cumberbatch, wasn't it?
Yeah, is this other Scottish actor? Am I thinking of the right film? Anyway.
Yeah, so Alan Turing he played.
Yes! Oh, because that's the other one that's been on recently, was the one to do with electrics, wasn't it? Have you watched that yet? Was that Cumberbatch? Well, that was to do with... it can't have been that same film.
Electrics?
Is that whoever invented electricity or something?
Faraday or
What's his name?
Edison?
Benedict, you said?
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Let's see.
It's the Imitation Game.
I'm sure he was...
And really a lot of these are historical figures that we've treated quite badly.
It was definitely...
Because Turing obviously was a gay man who was prosecuted.
That's right. I remember I enjoyed that.
Chemically castrated as well.
I'm sure it's something to do with an electrical term in the title. I hope I haven't remembered that wrong.
Is this a dream?
No. Duncan and I both saw it and saw it on TV. Probably was. I'm laughing, but it probably was.
Shall I call Dunk?
No, he's not here. Otherwise I'd say yes.
There's
one here saying that's Imitation Game. It's definitely not that.
Which is Alan Turing.
There's one here that says the electrical... Oh, maybe it was that. The Electrical Life of Louis Wayne. But I don't remember that being the title. But yeah, it might have been that. I swear it was more like you said, watts or ampere or, it was...
If you remember it, write it down and we'll update people next week.
Yeah. Hawking? I haven't seen that. What's that one about? Stephen Hawking?
Oh, it looks like it. Although the film about Stephen Stephen Hawking, I've got down here somewhere.
Yes. Now, what was that called? Oh, The Theory of Everything.
Yes.
That was a fantastic film.
It was a very good film. Again, it's kind of biography meets historical.
Yeah, well, I think we've moved, because I say historical's a difficult one to narrow down. There's too many possibles.
I've got Gandhi. It's a long time since I watched that film, but I did enjoy it.
I'm starting to wonder if Benedict Cumberbatch was in this film I was talking about now.
Yeah.
There's another actor that looks like him.
I don't know.
That's right, I'm going to say movie about electrics.
Let's see what that sparks.
Does it spark your interest? I promise you, I haven't made this up. And if I asked Duncan, you probably would. Oh, what? Would it be Tesla?
Oh, could be Tesla.
Possibly Tesla.
Is that Benedict Cumberbatch?
That's it. The Current War.
The Current War. That's very
I
good.
knew I hadn't lost it, but that was excellent.
Was that Benedict Cumberbatch after all that?
It was, but
There
it
you
wasn't.
go.
Yeah, it wasn't on his list just now. That's bizarre, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah, The Current War. See, I knew it was
Oh,
something to
I
do with
like that.
electric.
But is it about Tesla?
I think he's mentioned in it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's mentioned as Tesla there.
I might put that on my list of films to watch. I've also got, just on historical, Schindler's List,
Oh,
which
fantastic
again
film.
I avoided
Fantastic
for a
film.
long time because I thought it had children being hurt in it. But I eventually watched it in Poland.
Oh, on holiday.
Yes, I can't remember the city. It'll come back to me. But it was where Schindler had his factory, so we went and looked at Schindler's factory,
All right.
which was amazing.
Talking about that sort of movie, just made me think of The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas. That was a good movie.
That was the other one I don't watch,
Ah,
along with Rabbit Proof Fence, for that very reason. I'm now looking at films to watch. So what was it called? Current
Current War.
War. I like what I have on my list. Have you seen Hidden Figures?
Yes, that's the lady that does the maths for the NASA or something,
Yes.
isn't it? Yeah,
So-
that was another very good one.
Yeah, it was several black women who were involved in doing the maths for the Apollo. But, you know, like all these things got written out of history, really.
And it was just about the chauvinism back then, wasn't it? About they wasn't really listening to her until basically they had to because she was right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that was very good.
Yeah.
Just in general, when we're talking about biographies, I think we've both seen Rocket Man and Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yes, and there's too many really. Not very often. That I suppose if I get the gist of it that I'm not going to like it, I wouldn't go and watch it in the first place.
And have you seen Eddie the Eagle?
Yes, that was really good.
That
We
was
saw
very
that fairly
good.
recently.
Yeah.
That was really good. Yeah. You've seen Mamma Mia, didn't you? I think.
Yes.
Yeah, that's coldy, but good. The only thing I didn't like in it, singing in some parts. I don't think, what's her name? One of the main ones.
Stroll Creep.
Meryl Streep, yeah. I wasn't that keen on her singing. I felt a bit uncomfortable when she was singing because I didn't think
Well,
she
the
sang
worst
very
one
well.
is Colin Firth. His singing is
And
atrocious.
Yeah, but give their due, they give it a go.
They do give it a go.
And yeah, it's a good film.
Yeah,
good,
it was
a
quite-
good smiley, good film.
Yes. Feel-good films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's on the same lines as Love Actually and all those really, wasn't it? It's quite romantic. See, Notting Hill I've got down, which is under the
Another
romantic one.
romance,
I've just
yeah.
not looked at my list, have I? And under comedies actually, which is I didn't even realise I remembered it being a comedy. Because have we touched comedy yet? Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I missed out Amelie with Audrey Tautou. T-A-U-T-O-U.
Tautou.
It's T-A-U, so it's Tautou, isn't it?
Tautou.
I don't know, I'd have to Google to pronounce that.
No, I've never seen that.
Yeah, no,
Which
I liked it.
That's
I
one
think
of my
we've-
Fee's favourite films.
Yeah, I think we've got it downstairs.
Yeah.
I have to just ask Dunk where it is. Pretty Woman was another romantic one. I'm just running through my list now to see what I missed off. I'm just thinking of cartoon type, animated type films that are good.
Yes.
I mean, I've got Shrek, all the Shreks.
All the
basically,
Shreks,
which
very
I
good.
think are absolutely hilarious. Minions, hilarious.
Yeah.
Despicable Me.
I like Despicable Me.
Mm.
I didn't necessarily like the Minions spin-offs.
Did you not?
Got a bit too silly for my
Oh yeah,
liking.
it's silly, but sometimes I do like the silly, but it depends on the context. You know, sometimes it can be silly when I think, no, you should be grown up and behave yourself, whereas you expect it to be silly when it's animated, really.
Monsters Inc. I like.
Yes, yeah, and to me they're all on a similar vein, like
Yeah.
Toy Story.
Love the Toy Stories.
The old favourite Mary Poppins, which I always think of as the original when we were kids.
Have you watched the second one?
Yes, I was just going to say that the new one, I enjoyed that as well.
I liked it. I thought it was
Yeah.
well done. I thought it played a nice homage
Yeah,
to
it
the
did.
original.
It was good.
When I
good.
was just looking for historical films just now, The Sound of Music came up,
Oh, how can we forget Sound of Music?
which is...
That's another Teary, see, comes under Teary.
It would come under Teary, wouldn't it?
Mm.
But it was basically
Very-
a true story.
Yeah, and I think it was quite... I think sometimes when you know it's a true story, it suddenly becomes more powerful, doesn't it? You just get drawn in so much more. Yeah.
Inside Out,
Yeah.
I really liked. Just
It's another
again,
a quite emotional one again, though, isn't
but
it?
it's the idea that, I just thought of something else. The idea that you need sad.
Yeah,
And I found that quite poignant,
yeah,
because I avoid sad all.
yeah. But you do, because that's why I say sometimes you know when you just need a teary movie, because you know there's emotions in there that get built up, and they could almost turn into something else if you don't get them out as and when.
Medication's for Jack.
Medication, yeah. But that's like if you're angry and you can't release that anger, it'll stew and build up, and unfortunately that doesn't turn into happiness or something else. It just gets worse.
No. I just thought of Finding Nemo
Oh, yeah.
and Finding Dory.
Yeah, Finding Dory.
Now that was one that Fee and I went to see. I think we'd had a bereavement just before, and I cried my eyes out at Finding Dory. Yeah.
So you don't mind crying your eyes out at the cartoon?
I don't mind. Well, no, I do. I don't enjoy it necessarily. Yeah. I wasn't expecting to go and see Finding Dory and end up in a mess, but I did. Yeah.
And it's just making other films come up now, talking about The Greatest Showman. I thought that was really good as well.
Yes. I mean, your family were obsessed with that for
They
a
were
while.
obsessed.
They knew all the words to all the songs.
And we kept getting videos sent over where they'd be stood in front of the telly dancing and singing to it because they knew it word for word.
I've seen it once and that was enough.
It
but
was
all right.
yeah. Well, that is the trouble. When I go to see the family, very often there's something, it'll be on in the background, it'll be on all day. Sometimes they'll watch it, sometimes they won't. It's just always there.
Yeah.
And it's quite amusing to say when they get up and they stand in front of it and start singing the words and dancing to it. It's nice to see, especially if we're all doing it together, because it's just nice to see them doing stuff together.
Yes. Have you got any other that don't fit into a category?
No, I've got everything off my list, apart from Toy Story. That was the other one. I don't know of anybody that hasn't seen, but there probably are people that haven't seen Toy Story or anything like that.
I don't think 4 was as popular as the other ones. I really enjoyed 4.
Oh, really? Oh, I just like them all.
Yeah.
I just think that all those sort of things, even though they've become the norm, you still watch them and think how clever they are.
I mean, Pixar is just so sophisticated, isn't it, now? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can remember, was Toy Story the first Pixar I saw? And thought, oh my God, that almost looks real.
I've got a feeling like I've gone to the cinema to see one of the Toy Stories.
Yeah, I think we saw.
Because I remember seeing the Pixar, the torch,
lamp.
The lamp, that's it, come on. I also remember thinking, oh, that was really clever.
Yeah, me
And
too.
now it's so sort of normal.
They were. Yeah, I think the best animated films are not the Prince and Princesses ones.
No, exactly.
'Cause they're the
The
ones.
granddaughters
that
might argue with you
God,
about that, but yeah.
Really, another Prince?
Yeah.
It's all a bit corny for
Yeah.
my liking. So it's the ones that have come up with something different, like Toy Story, Finding Nemo, and the rest.
I mean, and one thing I do find spoils it, that sometimes the directors and producers get carried away too much with the special effects and forget the story. Because that's not what you're generally going to see. I know we're impressed by it all, but I think you need a story to follow, basically.
Have you ever watched the outtakes? So the stuff that ended up on the cutting floor.
Oh, at the end of films when they.
Well, have you ever watched the one for Titanic?
Don't think I have, or if I did,
Should,
it's a while
because
back.
there was so much of good story that was cut out so he could have more special effects in.
Mm.
There's far more of the story of Rose and Jack that got cut out.
Mm.
There was a whole romance between Jack's Italian friend and there's a young girl he dances with when they're at the party. There was a whole story about their romance.
It's starting to ring a bell now. I think I might have. Yeah,
it's such a shame because he overdid the special effects. They were very good, and again, they were so ahead of their time. That kind of CGI.
Yeah, I don't know how old that film is now, but
yeah,
wow.
but the fact that they had people walking around on the Titanic and they weren't real. It was amazing.
Wow. Yeah.
At the time. But yeah, he cut out far too much where he could have cut out more of his special effects, I think, because some of that story is really quite good.
Mm.
Yeah. I just thought of a really good animation by one of my favourite directors. It's Wes Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
Something Isla got me into. Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Yeah, well, we said about this, didn't we, recently, because we saw the other one of his recently, and I wasn't sure about it. And it's the same director. Do you remember saying to you? We saw it. I don't know what the recent one was called.
I can't think what you've seen, but
You said it's Wes Anderson.
Wes Anderson is the director, and he does these they're quite funny films, and he quite often uses the same actors, and they're always such brilliant colours. The colours in the room are amazing. Oh, Isle of Dogs is the other one.
That's it.
Yeah,
Dogs.
which I haven't
And
seen.
when you actually see the cast, I mean, it's fantastic. The amount of real big stars that do the voice on it.
Against George
incredible.
Clooney, I think. It's
Yeah,
Fantastic
yeah.
Mr. Fox.
Yeah. I think he might be in
amazing.
that one as well, but I'm totally sure. Well, I think we've exhausted our brains on trying to think of films, so if any of you got any, we're probably opening up a whole can of worms here, but if anybody of you got any favourite films you want to let us know about, then let us know in the comments.
And also, if you disagree with Jan's obsession with the romance and mine with science fiction,
yeah,
let us know.
just let us know, and I shall see you in the comments. And Sharon and I won't see you, but we'll see you anyway next podcast. Bye.
Bye.